Hi guys, welcome to It Mom Podcast. It's not easy being cool. My name is Jenn Chen. I'm your host. This episode, we're going to name it Purpose. And what is the purpose of It Moms? What is the purpose of this podcast, right? And I was reflecting and thinking about everything that I've been through, and I'm ready to share my story. So being an It Mom, I think representing female energy. It has nothing to do with being a mom per se. I think when I started to launch this business and this idea, people thought, oh, it's just if you're only a mom. That has nothing to do with it. Truly, it has to do with having a form of connection of just like being feminine, right? Being feminine energy. And I think the reason why I wanted to come out with this is I believe we need to have a community where we're all able to connect. My life, I felt like to get to this point of where I am in the journey and the struggle and the joy and the happiness is really because of the connections I've built and all of the learning scenarios that I've had. So, I really am so excited because this season, I really am going to bring in so many cool entrepreneurial women that want to share their stories, not just entrepreneurial, but I think being able to connect and communicate that the whole saying, the struggle is real. It is real, but how are we able to handle the struggle gracefully, right? Being a mom of twin girls, I always questioned and I always thought, what's the route of how I'm able to teach the younger generation and women on how we're able to work together and support one another, So that's kind of what it is. I think I'm really excited to share with you guys this journey. Today it's just me. It's only me. It is me. And I'm enough, And so I want to say that you guys are enough. It always starts with love with first yourself. That way we could also spread the bigger purpose. So the purpose of this really truly is to create a community where we would support one another and to help each other go through the hardships gracefully, right? My whole role, my number one role of being an It Mom is no matter how hard you are struggling inside, number one, you need to always be cute. Always be hot and put together because I always had this rule. If you look good, you're going to feel good. And I'm going to, no matter what, always look good and feel good in whatever struggle I am, and not one single person will know. Sometimes these scenarios, it gets you into a lonely place because you feel you're not able to share. But if you bring other similar energy of women and people together, you're not going to feel alone because everyone's a leader. And so that's really what this podcast is about. Going into being an It Mom, as I reflected and I talked back, it's not so much necessarily being a mom, being an It Mom. It's almost being an It person, an It girl, an It woman. I have male viewers, I have followers that are very interested in wanting to know the female brain, right? Male and female brains are completely different. I think I'm able to really communicate clearly on both aspects just because I have kind of lived both lives, essentially with business and work, and also as being a mom, as being a girl's girl. And so, I just want to get to a place where there should be no hierarchy of, oh, women, we need to be badass bitches, men, you're nothing, or vice versa. There needs to be a balance where we all become partners, like leadership, and help each other. If I bring 50% to the table, you bring 50%. If you bring 70, don't worry, because I'm having a bad day, I'm at 30%. But I think, when I look at relationships, and this is what I want to teach my girls, having not just with husbands, wives, friends, whatever, in general with people, I believe that everything could be a win-win scenario. I think that as long as we all have the same mindset and same goals and the right intentions and the right purpose in everything we do, I believe that we truly could change things one episode at a time, slowly, one thing at a time. My whole thing is, being authentic is my biggest goal in seeing of what I wish that everyone could truly just be their true selves and understand and know that as long as you're okay with yourself, everything will come together because you're confident in who you are, right? And, when going into all these things, as I bring other girls on stage and things like that, of sharing different stories and sharing different episodes, I'm going to be able to kind of express and show bits and pieces of like everything I've been through, and realizing that, who are we faking it for, right? The thing is, I would have never learned all these things unless I've gone through it. And so I think that's kind of my goal of this, that I just at the same time enjoy, be real, have fun, be your true self. Let's have conversation, let's have communication. Let's talk about things that are not talked about. Let's talk about the struggle. Let's talk about the goals, right? The plans, because it's not just for us, it's truly for the future generation. Majority of the people my age, we have young children or high schoolers, kids, everything. And we struggle in the fact of how are we able to teach them and how are we able to break the cycle of what we grew up with. And so, meanwhile, I think it's an excuse for me to kind of introduce you to my best girlfriends and share the story. And I have literally pinpointed and picked out each one of them. And the conversations that we'll be sharing in each episode are things that we've always talked about. So everything's just an organic, natural feel. And I hope that you guys are able to support. And I hope, if I could just say one thing, is I have said this when my girls graduated kindergarten or preschool, is no matter what in life, whoever you meet, I want you to be able to leave a good impact and a purpose of your reasoning of how you are able to help for the better. That is my main goal in life. School is important, blah, 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 all these other things. But, truly when you dig deep within, my whole purpose really, and for my kids too, is I want them to be able to impact whoever they touch. It's almost like touch one person there, I always get made fun of because I rant a lot on my Instagram, and people that ask me, who are you talking to? I'm like, I'm actually talking to myself. It's actually a live diary for myself to reflect on a lot of things because I think about a lot of things and scenarios. And it's interesting because I always thought I was only talking to myself. And going to this business, I end up meeting some people that weren't even followers or whatever. And they're like, Jen, I listened to your podcast. Jen, I heard what you said about something, and that inspired me to create this because I feel if I'm able just to even touch one person to make the change slowly but surely, I think we're going to create such a better world out there. And so that's why I'm here. And we're so excited to start this new chapter of It Moms. One biggest thing that I wanted to ask is, what do the viewers want to see? What do you guys want to talk about? I have a few main points of topics that we will reflect about, but please leave comments below. And that way, for me and all the future hosts that I'm going to bring on stage, it's going to be a exciting thing. I have a cool roster of people, men and female, ready to join on stage and just to kind of talk about realness and stuff. So I have an idea of where we're going to go on, but please, viewers, what would you guys like to know? What questions do you want to answer? What kind of topics? And I am so excited to really start this new year off right. I always said this year has been a struggle, not just for me, but for a lot of people I know, but it is one of the best learning lessons. And going into 2024, it's going to be our year. And I think you really get strength from the struggle, from the pain, from the hurt. How are we able to switch that and to make it positive, right? And so I'm really excited to start the season off. It's going to be great. And yeah, stay tuned. And the first episode will launch soon in January. Peace out.